On October 7, 1989, a meteor shower flies through space towards the Earth with a small spaceship among them. Oblivious to these events in space, wealthy businessman Lionel Luthor and his 9-year-old son Lex Luthor are flying in their helicopter to a factory in Smallville. Young Lex is scolded by his father for expressing his fear during the flight, later finding relief when they land. Meanwhile, young farmer couple Jonathan and Martha Kent take a trip into town, visiting florist shop owner Nell Potter and her 3-year-old niece Lana Lang. Nell is looking after Lana whilst her niece's parents are at the homecoming football game. Jonathan buys some flowers whilst Martha makes a wish from Lana, who is dressed up in a fairy princess costume she was given for Halloween. After leaving Nell's flower shop, Martha reveals her wish for a child. As the couple are about to drive away, they notice the homecoming parade coming down the road as the town celebrate the Smallville Crows scoring another victory. The pair eventually start to make their way back to their farm. As the meteors start getting closer to Earth, Lionel Luthor starts to make a business deal with Dale and Bill Ross of the Ross Creamed Corn Factory to buy their land, whilst aboard Lex starts to wander off into Riley Field. After hearing someone whisper, "Help me," he runs in a panic, stumbling to the ground where he is called upon by stripped 14-year-old Jeremy Creek, who is tied to a cross in the cornfield as the Scarecrow, with an S painted on his chest. Suddenly something hits the cornfield and creates a shockwave, seemingly swallowing Jeremy and Lex. In the town, the townspeople gawk at the destructive trail of what had hit Riley Field. Suddenly more meteors hit the town, including one that kills Lana's parents, Louis and Laura Lang. The barrage of meteors leaves a path of destruction in its wake, and even Jonathan and Martha are caught in the madness when their pickup truck gets overturned by a meteor. Lionel races off to find Lex, only to find him lying in the cornfield, and backs away in horror as he sees that Lex is now bald with only a small patch of red hair remaining on his head. While hanging upside down in their toppled truck, the Kent couple is approached by a naked young boy, who does not speak but displays amazing strength. After getting out of the truck, they search nearby for the boy's parents, only to find a black spaceship laying among some wreckage. Seemingly this young boy they have just found is not of this planet. The Kents decide to keep the boy and name him Clark. In 2001, Smallville is presently the meteor capital of the world, with a populace of 45,001. The 14-year-old teen Clark Kent is currently a Smallville secondary school green bean. He is riding the web looking into different inconceivable follows-up on his PC. Subsequent to being called down to breakfast by his mom, he then, at that point, attempts to persuade his folks to permit him to play secondary school football. Excessively wary of his developing skills, Jonathan frustrates Clark and won't sign the consent slip, dreading he will inadvertently hurt different understudies. Leaving the Kent ranch a second past the point of no return, Clark misses his school transport. On the transport as of now is Clark's two dearest companions, Pete Ross and Chloe Sullivan. They examine how Clark is in every case slow, and Chloe hears a commotion on the rooftop, yet Pete thinks she is envisioning it. It is Clark, having quite recently utilized his super speed to go through a cornfield easy route, and has bounced on top of the transport. In the wake of showing up at school, Pete inquires as to whether she's going to the homecoming dance, and in the event that she is, whether she is anticipating going with Clark, which makes her protectively deny having eyes only for Clark, just for Pete to request that she go with him, all things considered, similarly as companions. Chloe and Pete catch Clark, who comes up with a faltering rationalization for showing up before they do, leaving Chloe bewildered. Clark lets Pete know that he can't pursue the football crew, which entertains Chloe, compelling the pair to make sense of that they just need to join the football crew to try not to turn into the Scarecrow, a customary trick wherein consistently the Smallville High football crew picks the geekiest first-year recruit male, whom they leave attached to a cross in his clothing in Riley Field like a scarecrow. Out of nowhere, Clark sees Lana, who has developed to turn into a wonderful young woman. At the point when Clark moves toward her, he turns out to be truly sick because of Lana wearing a greenstone jewelry produced using